all right. Hey, where have I been? Where have I been? I've not done a video in a while. Well, 2 reasons. Been really busy. A lot of stuff. Went to EDC, Electric Daisy Carnival in Las Vegas. Took the whole tribe down there. We had a great time. Been doing a lot of things up here, a lot of work, a lot of other stuff. Summer's coming, a lot of yard work. But there's another reason. There's another reason. Right here. Called Massive Darkness. So, the title of this video is going to be something like Bardsung versus Massive Darkness. Well, what I'm going to do is just sit back for a second and talk with you guys because I haven't had a conversation for a while. And it's just me and you talking. So if you want to type in some questions, I will certainly get in on the conversation with you. I love you guys. I love gaming. And so, you know, my gaming history really starts with Dungeons & Dragons back in the 80s, Old Player's Handbook, Dungeon Master's Guide, all those old modules, you know, Ghost Tower of Inverness, you know, Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh, Against the Giants, Keep on the Borderlands, all of them. I mean, I just got them all back then. I was the DM, loved it. So a game like Bardsung is my kind of game. It's my kind of game. And if you saw some earlier videos, I got it. I did some unboxing. I did a character thing. I'm going to do a how-to play. And well, what happened was I ran into the rule book. And the rule book, I can't tell you how it kind of was like hitting mud. I was really disappointed with that rule book. And it just slowed me down. It was confusing. So I got a whiteboard out and I just went back into it and I started to read it and tear it apart and I started to kind of learn how it went and I really got it figured out. And I sat and I played some solo games and I realized early on that this just was not going to work for my wife. I could have, but I wanted to get it down before I got it played with her. And so I got my characters and I had a lot of fun with all the characters. They were pretty cool and I started to play it and I just realized what a grind it was. And there was this sense, the reason I backed Bardsung was I saw a video or an article, one of the two, of one of the creators. I don't know their names. They don't list them right here. Interesting, you know, like do you think that would be the top list? Okay, don't know who they are. But one of them was like, hey, I want to recapture the feel of going out and opening the door and looking over the horizon and just a sense of adventure. You kind of think of, you know, Frodo and Sam leaving the Shire and some of those early D&D games when it was just all so fresh and mind-boggling. So that idea sold me. And, you know, like RPG immersion meets elegant mechanics. And it just, I don't want to blame Bardsung. It just didn't work for me. And it might be one of those things, I'm totally open with this. It might be one of those things where you say, Jason, just keep going. But I started to play and it got grindy. And I was like, oh man. You know, I remember playing Diablo on the computer and just like, I remember when you were just like, you were 26th level and you knew you had to be 30th to take on Diablo and win. You're like, oh, I'll just go back and grind. Never enjoyed that sense. But I don't know. Just that rule confusion. And I just could not believe someone in that company didn't just think that this would be pristine, the best rule system ever of rule book clarity. It just really shocked me, and it gave me such a jerk back. That's once I got into it, I'm not sure I really liked the rules. And in fact, I'll tell you something funny. I started to design alternate rules. Literally, I started to design alternate rules. Like, how could I fix this? And I spent a couple hours on a whiteboard once, kind of creating my own game. And I almost decided to just say, screw this. I'm going to fix this by creating my own game. It had some things that were similar to Dungeons and Dragons, and then it just did other things differently. And you know, I like the miniatures, I like the feel, but it's a hard thing to say. You know when you know you don't like something and it's not clicking for you, but you don't know exactly why, right? And I'm here. I've got the channel. I've got the platform. I have to go, this is why it wasn't good. Da 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 ba ba ba. Like I got to be sharp, and I'm not sharp with this. I don't know. It was a series of lukewarmness for me, right? Maybe that's the sharpness. It was lukewarm. It wasn't elegant. It wasn't, simple. So very shortly after, now I know a lot of you don't have your Massive Darkness 2 because I just got a Kickstarter indication from some of the people at CMON, and they said, oh, if you haven't got yours yet, it's still out there in the boat. I got mine really early. I got this over a month ago. We just tore this thing apart, and me and my wife have just been playing Massive Darkness. It's still on the kitchen table. We just keep playing. We just keep playing. I recently just went and looked at Tom Vassel's review. So this isn't really a review for Massive Darkness, but it's just fun. It's not perfect. There's a few things in it that are a little weird, but once you play them, so when you, I'll point it out, when you attack someone and they have defense, they also have the ability to roll these other dice that they're black with red lettering on it, and if one of those wounds come up, you get wounded, whether you have a shield or not. So there's just, at first I thought, screw you, I'm attacking. Boom, I attack you. If I miss, I miss. Now you get to attack me. That's your turn to do that. But it actually works. I didn't like that at all. I think that was a bad idea. By the way, I should do this now. Moving on, right? Over to Massive Darkness. And it worked. It ends up working. It just kind of balances things out. You're attacking them, and whoa, you get cut in as you do it. And some things can happen. I didn't like that mechanic, and but now I played it so much that it seems second nature to me. It seems second nature that when I attack you, I also roll a number of black dice to see if I get hurt doing it. It's kind of weird. But everything else, it just pretty much makes sense. It has some basic feels of Zombicide. So I played that so much. I just got some basic feels. Every character's different. And here's the thing. You play about 2 hours. It's about a 2-hour game, maybe 3. At least for me, and it plays amazingly well at 2 players. Amazingly well at 2 players. It is a fantastic 2-player game. And we just we just zip through the damn thing. And it's just fun. And you go from, first level to 5th level. Sometimes we solve it at 4th level. And you got this pile of magic items. I mean, there's no limit. You just get more magic. You just piles of stuff. Now, you can only equip a few things, but it's just, you just get this stuff, and then you get power. And, I mean, it reminds me a little of Cthulhu Death May Die. Have any of you played that? In the first time, you roll your little dice, And then at the end, when you've taken all the insanity, you got all the extra dice, you roll 10, 12 dice. You're like, yeah! Oh, man. I'm a dice chucker at heart. Yeah. So, anyways, that's where I've been. Playing Massive Darkness, doing my yard, family vacation, and just been busy. So I knew I had to come out there somewhere. I have not done an official review for Bardsung. I was started so deep into how to play. I thought, this is a great thing. Hey, they screwed up. They got a bad rulebook. I'll fix it for them. I'll do a better review video. I'll do a how to play video. What a great idea. But I lukewarmed on the game. So the video went nowhere. So, anyways, what are you going to do? Okay, how have you been doing? What have you been playing? I know a lot of you guys out there have been kind of following me for a while, and I've got groups of you or single, I guess it wouldn't be single, I've got people who I make contact with, particularly about dungeon crawl games. And where are you at with that? And there's a few other games that are still out there that I have not done. I've got Madara sitting there. Man, I would love to play more Gloomhaven. I love that game. I just don't play it. I've got to finish Bloodborne. I've liked that, though it's not really a dungeon crawler, but it kind of is. I've got Madara. Haven't even opened that. I've got Chip Theory games, the Gearlock one. Haven't opened that. What's the one I was going to mention to you guys? Fortress Shadows over Brimstone. One of you, Robert, you suggested that to me. Haven't played that yet. So I'm behind. And one of the reasons is, look, it's me and my wife here, right? My kid came yesterday for Father's Day, and we played with him. That was great. I should tell you this. So my gaming group, we've been playing 2 different games twice a week. We are in a Arc Nova black hole. We sunk. We've been sucked in. We passed the event horizon. And then the other group, there's 2 groups, we're in the Great Wall from Awakened Realms black hole, sucked in past the event horizon. We can't stop playing those two games. So, like a narrow selection of games. And I was sitting here thinking, because I was watching some of the channels, right? And I was looking, and some of them bothered me. There's something that bothered me about some of these channels. And then I realized, I realized what it was recently. So I was watching, probably all of you know Alex at the Board Game Co. I don't know him at all. And I was just watching him, and I was like, I know what bothers me about him in this. He just churns through games. Zing, zing, like, they don't mean anything. It's his business, you know? He's processing loans like a loan officer, right? Now, I know he loves games. I'm not being fair to him. And I was like, so part of this was like, for the last like 3 months or 2.5, I don't know, I've been playing 3 games. Like I got Meadow over there. I think I want to play some more Ankh. I always want to go back and play Blood Rage. I want to play Rise of Moloch. And I know I got Bloodborne more. Champions of Midgard is always out. These are just the ones on the line. Sleeping Gods. I got to finish Sleeping Gods. I think I did a $10 pledge on Distant Skies because, yeah. After the Empire is a fantastic game. You can't see it off the thing. Aquatica's pretty fun. Oh, how about this? I know I love this game. Tainted Grail, and they're doing a second version, and I haven't finished the first. But, my friends, I've been playing Master Darkness. And you know when you go all in on a game, and you get all the stuff, and I said this to some of you, and there are some of you know exactly who I'm talking to here. When you went in on Bardsung, and I got that ancient lost levels, and I was like, I'm never going to play this. Like, I shouldn't have got this. I got all in on Massive Darkness. It's box after box after box after box of stuff. I'm so happy. Like, I'm going to play it all. Half of them are all painted. You should see. It's just been such a fun game. I highly, highly, highly recommend Massive Darkness. You know, and there is a campaign with it. I haven't played that yet, so I'll have to do that. And there's just all sorts of fun stuff. Okay, on top of that, I have the Rome game, the Build Rome game with 1,000 big miniatures, right? I have all the new Uncanny X-Men Marvel United stuff. That's just sitting there. We looked through the whole thing, loved it. Return to Dark Tower. We played it 3 times. We should do a review of it. I'm worried about that one. I liked the games, but I'm thinking to myself, I should just sell this. I just don't think I'll play it again. Maybe I will. It was great, but it didn't have that pizzazz. I mean, when you get a game, and here's the thing, we're gamers, right? So if you get a game that's got pizzazz, just play it. Over here I've got Meadow, which is, one of my favorites is Dune Imperium. I haven't played that in a long time. What have you not played? What have you played? What dungeon crawler are you liking? What other weird Euro Arc Nova game? Like, why would I like that game? Oh my gosh, I do. Okay, what games do you like that you shouldn't? What games do you not like that you should? And what have you been doing this summer so far? This is Jason here at the Game Warrior, explaining where I have been and what I've been doing. You drop a note. Get in there. Let's have some conversations. I love talking to you guys. And meanwhile, get out, get some sun, get out there and do some working out. Walk, run. Oh my gosh, stay healthy, get your green smoothie, and take care of yourself. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.